Hello, my name is Natalie Dawson and I'm the Executive Director for Audubon Alaska. We're so happy that you can join us for a few minutes this week to take a virtual trip through the Arctic Refuge. The Arctic Refuge is a really important place for our world's birds and for lots of other wildlife, like the iconic porcupine caribou herd. It's also being impacted by climate change at unprecedented rates compared to so many other places across the planet. So we'll spend the next few minutes looking at some of the beautiful sights and sounds of the Arctic Refuge and talk a bit about what's happening up there in terms of climate change. The Arctic Refuge is home to the Gwich'in Nation and Inupiat peoples of the Arctic, whose indigenous ways have stewarded these lands since time immemorial. The Arctic Refuge is also home to 200 species of birds that travel from all 7 continents to spend a part of their year in northern Alaska. Many of these species, such as the American golden plover, make their nests on the undisturbed ground of the Arctic Refuge. Species so common to many backyards across the United States, like the common redpoll and the fox sparrow, make their nests in the grasses and shrubs of the Arctic Refuge landscape, sometimes laying their eggs near the trails of caribou, reminding us that so many of the Arctic Refuge residents travel the same corridors. Can you imagine what it would be like to travel thousands of miles, hungry and tired, to find your home destroyed by fire, your food destroyed by flooding? This, too, is now a reality for the animals of the Arctic Refuge. The Arctic is warming at rapid rates, and this is bringing change to the refuge. Erosion from melting permafrost is resculpting the rivers and changing their courses, which brings changes for the birds and other wildlife who rely on those streamside oases for nesting and breeding. The millions of shorebirds and raptors, like the rough-legged hawk, who come to the refuge, may find that they have to search harder to find suitable nesting sites. Climate change is impacting the refuge's most famous residents, as polar bears and muskox learn to cope with new winters in the refuge, winters that bring less snow, more rain, and more difficult conditions to find available food and denning sites. Even the refuge's smallest residents, like the Arctic bumblebee, are noticing the changes to the refuge caused by climate change, as flowers bloom at different times. According to Audubon's 2019 Survival by Degrees report, over 2/3 of North American birds may go extinct due to climate change in coming decades. Yet the report also talks about how we can act now to protect places like the Arctic Refuge that will help all of us handle the impacts of climate change and could save species from extinction. We encourage you to follow Audubon Alaska to learn about ways we can all help each other share in this climate-changed world and make sure all the creatures of the Arctic Refuge have homes for the future.